So among the final steps is setting the endpoints so that the servo moves through the correct range of motion. So you can turn your radio on. Usually the left stick has to be down and all the switches up, and we're going to go ahead and raise this a little bit so that it doesn't slam down too far when we turn the bot on. So then we can turn the bot on, and we can see that if when we lower the left stick, it will go too far and really start flexing this top plate and overlifting the chassis. We just barely want to lift the chassis. So in order to do that, we push any of the 4 buttons to wake it up and hold OK. Down button to go to function setup, hit OK. Down button to go to endpoints, hit OK. And the weapon is on channel 3. So we're going to hit OK twice to get down to channel 3. And notice that the arrow is on the left, which is the low end. And then as we raise the stick, the arrow will move over to the right where it's on the high end. And we can verify with the stick all the way up that it does go far enough where we're just barely getting that link to touch the paperclip. So we don't need to move the horn on the spline or anything like that. But what we do need to do is reduce the downstroke. So we're gonna wanna, again, wake it back up. We're gonna turn down the low end of channel 3. And I'm progressively lowering the stick until it lifts the chassis too much, makes the servo scream, and then lowering the number again. So what I want is it to just barely lift the chassis. So I'm watching the edge of the chassis right here, and I can see that when I do that, the chassis just barely moves. So that's what I'm going for. And then when I push all the way up, it goes all the way open. So that's my endpoints exactly where I want them, and I'm going to hold cancel. Again, hold cancel to save. Now that said, with Slammer, one of the other things to do is to make sure that it doesn't open so far that you can sometimes you can get stuck in a state where you can't self-right from. So often you'll limit the downstroke, but you can see that does self-right with authority. Now, you've probably noticed the width of the arms on this one, and that when they come straight out of the box, these are quite narrow. So that's true. There's really, I'll try and get this to be quiet. There we go. There's no efficient way to print the arms so that they come out in this orientation. And some people do like the narrower arms. We generally like them to be as wide as we can get them. So we want them to land right near the outer edges of the TPU ace plow. And making sure that's flat. So what I've done is I've used the radio to get it where I'm just letting the claws touch the bottom. So that's the height that I want, but I do want these to be wider. So in order to do that, I'm going to use a heat gun. And I bet that there are some hair dryers that get hot enough to soften PLA, but obviously only do this if you have safe access to a heat gun. The heat gun that we're going to use has a nice small tip, and I'm going to turn it on, and you'll notice it was set to 240 degrees. So that's enough to just soften the PLA. So that's up to temp. It's at 240. And what I want to do is carefully, I'm going to heat right there. So what I'm trying to do is heat this spot where I want the twist. And I want to heat both of them evenly. And I'm also trying to get around all sides. So you can see I'm kind of going around this one going around that one. So I'm softening the plastic in the same area, kind of slowly, and I'll make that be quiet. So not putting too much heat on it, and I can see that they're starting to move. That one's starting to move. Then when I'm pretty sure they're good and soft, I'm going to go ahead and put that away safely, and I'm going to pull these out to where I want them. So I'm going to hold them right there. I can even blow gently on the arms. And there we have it. Our arms are nice and wide. I can turn off my heat gun. And now I can grab full width. They're less likely to get away. And then my heat gun's cooling. It'll shut off in a second. I'll once again want to double check the self-writability of it. It does that with authority. We'll make sure that it can't get stuck. Nope. So this looks great. Make sure there's no orientations that we can get stuck. Now, self-writes with authority from every orientation we can put it in. And we'll double check that it moves correctly. So if we push forward, it should go forward. Left, it should go left. Up with the right stick, it opens. Down, it does that. So there we have it. This one is ready for battle.